Hi everybody, Mike Chambers here. Let me say Happy New Year. For our business owners that are watching, thank you for your leadership and your courage. You navigated a very tough 2020. We're so happy to kick off 2021 with another PPP funding opportunity. As you know, the United States government has approved another $280 billion of support, and we're excited to talk to you about it today. The purpose of this video is to speak to those folks that already had a first draw and are coming back for a second draw. The one question that's applicable to every business owner I talk to is, what's the ETA? When can we expect this relief? So that will be the theme of today. What is the ETA? I'm excited to tell you that for many of you, especially those of you that bank with the community bank, January 13th will be your first opportunity to apply. Back to the ETA, we're gonna make that the theme of our meeting. We're gonna use ETA as an acronym to help you prepare in advance of applying. The first letter E, it stands for eligibility. It's basically the same eligibility as round one, although they tighten the criteria a little bit. The first example would be up to 300 employees. If you have over 300 employees, you're not eligible for a second draw. The second piece that's critical to talk about is 25% reduction in revenue. That could be on an annualized basis, or you're allowed to do a comparison of any quarter in 2020 compared to the corresponding quarter of 2019. The third thing I want to talk to you about, which could be critical when you calculate your 25% revenue drop off, is PPP funds don't count as revenue for you in 2020. That could be the difference between you being eligible or not, so it's worth noting. The second letter of our acronym, T, stands for terms. Again, new year, but same deal. The base terms in terms of the mechanics of the loan are the same. You still have 10 months before you have to make a payment. You have 10 months to apply for forgiveness. All of that, you can go back and read it. You're welcome to check PBOC's LinkedIn webpage and scroll back for previous videos. That terminology stayed the same. The only changes for terms is that regardless of how much your payroll calculation came out to, you're capped at $2 million. The other piece is that for loans under $150,000, on the back end, when you apply for forgiveness, you just sign a good faith certificate, whereas previously it was those under $50,000. So a couple small changes to terms, but otherwise it's basically the same deal that was offered in PPP round one. The third letter of ETA, A, stands for applying. This is where the rubber meets the road. There's three things you need to pay attention to. First and foremost, there's a specific app for a second draw. In fact, it's called the PPP Second Draw Borrower Form. You can get a copy of it on a link that appears on pbofca.com, or you can just simply email us at ppp@pbofca.com. We'll be happy to email it to you. But you have to apply with that specific form. The second piece is you're gonna have to verify the 25% reduction in revenue. Now, the guidance says it's on an annualized basis or quarterly, like I mentioned. Most companies have quarterly statements, some don't. If you don't have a quarterly statement, it is okay to turn in an annual statement and just explain where that quarterly drop-off is. They're trying to make it easy for you to get it, but it will be your responsibility to make sure that you needed it and then you actually had that 25% reduction. Keep in mind, the SBA is a sister subsidiary of the IRS, and both roll up to the parent company, the United States government. So at some point, they'll do a post-review on your tax return to make sure it matched up. So make sure you need it, make sure you act in good faith. We're really all just trying to pull together to figure this pandemic out. The third thing I want to talk to you about is your loan calculation. If you recall, during the first PPP loan, many folks used 2019 calendar year. They took your average over those 12 months and you times it by 2.5. You really had two options, 2019 calendar year, or you could use the preceding 12 months. Since most of those loans were made in April, some of you dipped into 2020. This particular second round draw, you have three choices. The first choice is to use 2019 full calendar year. The second choice is use 2020 full calendar year or the preceding 12 months. Those of you that bank with the community bank, you're gonna start this process next week, so the preceding 12 months is the 2020 calendar year, so you really have two options, 2019 calendar year or 2020 calendar year. In most cases, 2019 calendar year will be good, and to the extent that you use it the first time and you can use it the second time because you have similar payroll numbers, then you'll be able to skip a step because you won't have to turn in additional verification. Your bank that you used already has it. It's worth noting, might save you a little bit of time. So in summary, the three things that you need to focus on for applying are, most importantly, be sure to use the appropriate form. Make sure you have verification of your 25% reduction in revenue, and make sure you have the appropriate documentation in place for your loan calculation. Remember, the theme of this presentation was ETA. It's a bit of a sliding scale in terms of when you can apply, depending on the bank that you're currently working with. For those of you that have community banks, it's going to be January 13th, and we're excited to help you out. Keep in mind, everything we say has a bit of an asterisk. Similar to the first round of PPP, there's going to be tweaks and changes because it's a one-size-fits-all solution. So stay engaged with us. Visit us at pbofca.com. Follow us on our Partners Bank of California YouTube and LinkedIn channels. Feel free to email us with any questions you might have at ppp@pbofca.com. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. We're here to be your banking partner.